because the way you shoot in your camera makes a huge impact on your raw photos, like huge. So I had to do a lot more tweaking than I would normally do nowadays when I'm shooting and pulling it up raw. I have to do a lot more tweaking, but it's alright. Still get what I want, just takes a little longer. So here's something that I do try to do at times when I'm, trying to do thousands of photos at once. I will try to sync them up and see what it looks like. Let's undo that. Let's sync it without the crop. There we go. And then just, and it actually isn't that bad. So I'm going to pull this photo up next to it, and I'm going to try to match them up so that way in their wedding album, everything's really cohesive, And not every two photographer does things the same way. Everybody does it differently. This is just how I do it. When I'm lining up a photo, I'm looking for other horizontal lines. It's usually in the center of the photo, and for this one, I was seeing that line right there. And I also try to pay attention to the rule of thirds. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And sometimes I will pull in their skin tones next to each other and see if they're matching, and these look pretty good. Now I'm going to go into this photo and play with it just a little bit more. Maybe mess with the cropping a little bit to see if I like it more. And I want to play with her skin just a little bit. I don't do this a whole lot to photos, but I'll just I'll do it on a set, just if it's necessary type of thing. Oops. Bring down the sharpness a little bit. Bring up the luminance. Sometimes too much color in the shadows can make a photo look, not make a photo, but make the skin of the subject's photo not look very good. Sometimes it can look a little dirty. I don't know if that makes any sense, but and the reason why I brought the sharpness down as well is so we're not sharpening imperfections. I will go in here just a little bit. Like I said, I don't do this a lot. If I did this with thousands of photos, it would take me forever. But sometimes I do. Another trick too is sometimes the contrast can make skin not look very good. Bringing up the highlights can be helpful. You see how I did that? I just did the dropper just to kind of like give it a pop, you know, just to make sure my white balance is looking good. I'm comparing the two now. Now her skin's looking a little bit more on too much on the orange side to me. If you compare the two, it's not looking too good. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And I'm going to take some more of the shadows out. Maybe even reduce the saturation just a tad. And if anybody's not a photographer and they're watching this and they're like, man, this is tedious, or man, that takes forever, it kind of does. But like, if I have, when I shoot a wedding and I do a bunch of portraits like this, the cool thing is I can like copy it, and then I can copy a bunch of the photos and like kind of batch edit them. So yes, I do spend a lot of time on one photo per like location, but then I batch them. And so that's why I don't do the skin, all the photos, because that would take me so long. But like I said, I do it when it's super noticeable. I don't want to be sending my clients out photos where it's just like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like things like this, I can simply do this for them. So why not? You know? So I think they're looking pretty flawless. Let's see a little before and after. I might want to bring up the saturation just a little bit in the flowers just for fun, just because I have time. And the reason why I'm doing it with a brush is because I just spent all that time doing the saturation on everything else. I'm not gonna, you know, I could bring up the saturation in the blue slider, which I might still do that too. Which that didn't make like a huge difference, so I probably will do that. Let's see what that did. Not a lot, so we're gonna leave that like that. I mean, really, it's just like I don't have like an exact way I do things. Just I really just play with stuff. See? There we go. I'm gonna make the flowers pop up just a little bit, you know. And I do reference back often to the original photo because I don't want to like go too far away from where we started. I don't want to like be changing the flower colors and stuff like that. And as you see, I wanted to make sure everything was looking like it's supposed to. Bring the lights up just a little bit more. So here we have two photos. Oh, also something I do like to do on Dawn stuff is I like to bring up the clarity. That's just a preference thing. We all have our own preferences, you know. And I do that because I like to see like the details more. That's just me personally. It's not a lot, just a little bit. Something about the composition in this bothers me, but you know, I might just leave it the way I shot it. So yeah, I think we have some pretty good looking photos here, and I hope this video was helpful for you. A little before and after. See, the skin's much better. Where'd she go? Quick little before and after. So that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I just have been wanting to show for a long time on how I personally edit my photos from the beginning to the end, and I know all of us artists do it differently. Maybe you'll take a thing or two from this, but yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this.